Yeah, to be totally honest, I kind of just like to
Yeah.
let it go. So I'm a big fan of like rolling intros where you kind of just like you hit record and then you go in and
Right.
then you decide when you're kind of starting.
Okay,
and
that's
it adds
fine.
like a nice little natural feel in my opinion because it's just like this natural roll in.
Yeah, it's kind of like someone walking in on you having a conversation.
Yeah, like NASCAR, like you don't do like a stop to go, right? It's like
Yeah, they do a rolling
you
start.
do a rolling start, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So it's kind of like that, except less cars,
Less accidents.
way less mullets.
I don't know
Not
if
as
there's that
many
many mullets in NASCAR anymore.
The mullet's coming back. First of all,
Is it really?
Yeah. What?
Do you have definitive proof of this?
How is the mullet not? One of the most famous, like one of the most up and coming comedians right now has a mullet.
Who is
Theo Vaughn.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Theo Vaughn's got a fucking mullet.
Yeah, he has a man's mullet,
It's all party in the back, baby.
dude. That's
Party in the back.
that's a straight fucking. That's gotten out back there.
Oh,
Like it's not even a party. That's
Brazil. It's a yearly Brazilian festival back there.
my god.
Rio de Janeiro's never looked so goddamn good.
Oh,
So
Welcome back. Motherfucker. Welcome back to the area.
Oh, what's up, shoppers? Welcome back to another episode of what we like to call our organized madness.
Yep. Chaos in a bottle.
How's your week been?
It's been all right. Surprisingly, yeah. It's been.
Not surprisingly. I always assume you're doing all right.
Yeah. Thanks.
I like to. It makes me feel better.
Does it really?
You know, it makes me feel better to think that you're in a better place. Yeah, of course.
In a
Always
better
like, whenever
place.
I'm like, I wonder what Elias is up to. I'm like, he's probably good. In actuality, the world's
It's just crumbling around me.
you're in a corner of a room that's leaking, and you're just.
I'm glad to you though that's all right.
No, that's not. No,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I'm saying it's like, oh, I bet he's all right, and then it cuts to you.
right. Just
Yeah, like half naked, covered in mud and blood.
wow, mud and blood.
Yeah, because you just dug up the remains of.
Apparently, fucking Grigory Rasputin. Because wow.
You know they still have his dick in a jar.
Yes, you're right. They do. I've heard this.
We digress.
Sorry. Anyways, so as we were saying, welcome back to the dairy aisle, everybody.
We're still. Bear with us because we still are trying to figure out like what our general format is, but we will try to keep it as on the rails as possible.
That's the idea.
We might diverge into conversations about preserved peni from famous historical figures.
Exactly.
Oh.
Also, for those of you with keen ears, we are now using better audio mics.
Yeah, these are a little bit more suited for podcasting.
Yep. And since James, you know more about these than I do, what kind of mics are we using?
So these are Audio-Technica compressor mics because
Right.
dynamic is what we were using before. So these work on a little bit more of a directional basis. So you have to speak directly into them, and it really only picks up sound in that way. So you don't have to worry about as much ambient noise and stuff like that. Echoes are also much more muted.
Okay.
Because it's not picking up all the bouncing that's happening in the room.
Right.
So it should sound more clear for you guys. If it still sounds like we're in an empty airplane hangar,
It's because we own one.
it's because we are in one.
Duh.
But yeah, no.
We also have a mixer, too.
It's a work in progress. All this is a work in progress. I'm glad that you're all here for the disaster that is the beginning of this show. Also, I think my mic just cut out.
Did it?
Yeah, because you're up. I'm not up.
Uh-oh, hold
And
on.
I think it might be that my mic is messed up, so give me 1 second as we work through this audio issue.
Yeah, if you couldn't hear him talking, he's basically saying that his mic is all kinds of messed up right now, and it might be a cable, maybe, or just the mic itself. All that noise you're hearing is him rolling around trying to find new stuff. I don't know if they're going to hear it or not. They might.
Oh my god, I forgot Jay about the longest.
What the hell?
It's like
You could strangle a fucking water buffalo with that.
seriously. Like a few water buffaloes.
Just string them together. All right.
I hope it's the cable and not the mic, because I don't have to use the other mic.
What's wrong with the other mic?
I just have to hold it.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, testing this mic out with a new AV cable and fucked still.
Nope.
We're still fuck city.
But it's kind of like catching you a little bit. Look at the lights on the mixer.
It's catching me off your mic. It's catching me off your mic.
This is...
If you shut your mic off, you won't be able to hear me.
Well, I'm not going to turn off the mic because I want people to be able to hear me.
You want to be able to hear me?
You're...
Oh! Oh! Yeah, it's like super... Like, that was like this big.
Yeah, I saw it here on the mixer.
Yeah, it's very small. Alright, so let me grab the other mic.
Alright, so now we're going to try with another mic.
Oh.
What?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I think we're good now. I think I forgot to...
Whoa, what?
I forgot to turn the gain up when I replugged the... When I plugged in this mic. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, we're off to a good start.
Complete with technical failures and everything.
Yeah. All right, so we're back from our technical escapades. I think I got our mic fixed. If I didn't, it's gonna be like kind of another solo episode of Elias, except he's talking to an imaginary friend.
Yay, imaginary friends!
Yay, Billy's back.
I'm glad that it went from James to Billy.
Yeah, well, your imaginary friend, my imaginary friend is Billy.
Did you ever have an imaginary friend, like an actual imaginary friend that you remember?
Did I have an imaginary friend? I had like characters I made up for like the different like situations I was in, because I would always like be in my own movies when I was a kid. I was an only child, so it was a lot of me, myself, and I.
I know how you feel.
Because I was awkward around kids, so it would be just like my pillow would be a person that I'd fight in like the jungles of
you
Brazil.
too, huh?
Yeah. Like if I saw a toy gun or sword,
oh, that's it,
or any combination of the two, my mother was buying it immediately.
Oh, I have a story for you.
Wait, no, go. Giz the deets.
Growing up, I had two older sisters who were enough of an age gap away from me, even the one closest to me. Shout out to my big sister Gabby.
Shout out Gabby.
And shout out to my bigger sister Effie. Love you both. Mad love y'all. But also fuck y'all, because y'all never included me in shit.
Yo, I love y'all, but man, my childhood was rough.
That shit was rough, son.
You guys were mean as fuck.
Well, they did give me a tough skin, but they were far enough away from me in the age gap, and also the fact that they're girls and I'm a boy. And they were two peas in a pod. Like they were always doing shit together.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't a part of that program. So I did kind of have like the only child life, and that I had to like make up my own adventures. I had an imaginary friend. I did shit because I was bored.
How consistent was your imaginary friend? Was it like it was the same person, quote unquote? Every time that you would like, hey, Greg, it's another day. We're gonna go hang out.
Not necessarily.
It, just like a different thing?
It was closer to what you did, where like you were the star of your own movie, and you basically had a bunch of extras that you imagined up in your head.
Supporting cast. You need supporting cast.
Exactly. So like, how can I explain? Like anything, like a stick was suddenly a sword or a lightsaber, or depending on the shape, it might have been a rifle or something like that. So I did have a lot of those styles of adventures, and thankfully we grew up in a big enough backyard that I had an ample supply of sticks that would turn into swords or knives or arrows.
Sticks, the Swiss Army knife of the imagination.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. But also the fact that like there were these like scenarios, I guess, that I would get into, and they were like, yo, I wrote some deep shit in my head as a kid. Like there was death, there was drama, no love, because I didn't, I wasn't there yet.
Understand that yet?
I wasn't. I was like, girls, they're there, they exist, awesome. But it was
mean to me.
Right, they're mean to me.
Closest to me hurt me on a regular basis.
Bastards. But there was a lot of like making stories up and shit and being like, what are we doing today? Well, we're fighting this giant robot that's being built in the jungle, and we got to go blow that fucker up before, he kills us all. Essentially writing my own Metal Gear Solid storyline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dope.
Years before.
Did you ever like did you ever have like great finds? Like
finding stuff?
Started like a really old laptop that like no one used, and they just had it because they never got rid of it.
I
found one of those.
That is now the fire control system on a Russian nuclear submarine that requires both keys to be turned simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I turned into Hacker Man really quick.
Oh, instant hack the.
Oh,
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once had a microchip that attached to a Raptor that then I controlled with my command center laptop.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was
Dude,
a whole.
yeah, you were in
It
there.
was a whole bit. I wrote Jurassic World before it was ever a thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, we were there.
Mm-hmm.
We were there. And
we were
like,
in the thick of it. Imagination land.
and being Hispanic, of course, my parents were understanding of the fact that I needed to like do the thing that boys do, which is just play around and like
boy. Yeah.
imagine like blow shit up with your imagination and fight off a million ninjas on the front lawn at 9:00 on a Saturday.
Gotta
But
fight off those ninjas.
no, you have to.
I
But
mean,
they
they're
had
gonna
this
fuck you up
thing
if
where,
you don't.
well, duh. But anytime I picked up like a stick or anything, and I was like, it's a sword now, they would call it un pinchillo, which is basically like a pokey, sharp object for our non-native Spanish speakers. So there's this like it's not like a famous incident in our family. It was just like a thing that happened often enough that it sort of became just like, oh, that's what he's doing today. And like I would,
oh, that's the choice you made today?
yeah,
Nice. Okay.
so it'd be like a Saturday or a Sunday, and there'd be nothing to do at home, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm fighting off ninjas, monsters, aliens, fucking who knows what, and I would walk around in like with a pair of shorts and a shirt or whatever, and any sword or any hockey stick, any baseball bat, anything that I could, I would stick it into the waist of my pant, like my waistline, right? Or down the back of my shirt.
Oh yeah.
A la Blade.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
And I would be fucking strapped, son.
Oh yeah.
Like
it just depended on what kind of badass you were gonna be that
we're
day.
going to war that day.
Oh yeah.
There was for those of you that have seen Boondock Saints, the first one, when they meet their dad for the first time in the street and he opens up the trench coat and his body is just neck to knee covered in pistols, revolvers, and sharp objects. That was basically me, just not nearly as graceful or good looking. And there was a pinchillo for every occasion.
Oh,
Aliens, got one. Ninjas, got two of them. Monster,
Dinosaurs, fuck them up.
got it. What's that? A ghost? I got this hockey stick. Actually, it's a ghost-killing scythe. Let's do this shit. Oh, yeah. And I would just run around the house in the backyard just fucking up imaginary things. What's that pillow? You mean a fucking angry, genetically enhanced gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
He's going down.
I was
a troubled child.
I would always have a love story. That was the only difference I have.
Damn,
from
you had a
from
love
your
story?
experience. I had to have a love story.
Damn, you romantic
I had to have
motherfucker.
something to fight for.
You couldn't just fight. You can be like a freedom fighter or just
No,
fight to
man,
save the planet.
I had to be a badass.
There has to be
Who
some
fucking save the chick.
But
I
like,
had
was there
to
like,
save the
did you
chick.
actually have like an actual romance, or just like you're
I didn't
following the archetype of saving the damsel in distress?
I was following the archetype.
Okay,
yeah, it's
got it.
like I would like walk it. Let's say like I walk into a room, right, and then all of a sudden this fucking my pink pillow is been abducted by the white pillow, and now I need to save her.
That's racist.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but except he's a demon.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So now I gotta pull out my magical blade,
Beelzebub
You know what I mean?
himself.
whatever it might have been at the time. Maybe I got it at Party City on a Halloween clearance. Maybe I got it at the fair because I wouldn't shut up about it for an hour.
Damn,
and a
but
half.
you had actual props.
Oh yeah, I had no. Oh yeah.
Oh no, this was
It was the only thing I ever wanted
the best.
at all times.
The best prop I think I ever had, and I my parents listened to the podcast, which is awesome. Shout out to mom and dad. I love you both.
Oh, what's up, mom and pop?
Yeah, you're the reason. You're the reason for the season. Oh yeah, all day, both of them. But they
They're
bought
gonna
me.
get a kick out of hearing Pinchito.
Yeah, right. I think I was maybe 5 or 6, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, of course, was the thing back then.
Had every weapon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Lucky bastard. I only had 2 of them.
Dad.
I only ever had. I had the White Rangers talking tiger sword thing
Oh, I mean,
that talked.
that's all you needed.
Right.
To
That,
be fair.
and then I had like this like knockoff Party City like Red Ranger, and I'm doing the air quotes here.
Ooh.
It was like a plastic hollow katana,
Ooh.
but that I carried that shit everywhere. That was my boy.
It's like yes.
But anything, if I found like I don't know, like I found like a broom that the broom head had fallen off, and
Yep.
I'm like, it's fucking bow staff. Let's do this shit.
Don't get me wrong. I had the same thing. There was like.
But you had real props.
No.
They couldn't have trusted me with a knife.
One.
It's a miracle I still have 10 fingers.
My dad was just happy I was playing with something violent. He was like, "Oh yeah, good."
Good job.
He's like, "He wanted an easy bake oven last year." I had to.
I just shot him in the knee. I don't know.
had to say
I'm
no
hoping
to
that'll
that.
figure something out.
No, one of my favorite props was this like 4 foot or 3.5 foot long like wooden closet dowel, like the one you like put up to hang clothes.
Yes.
You'd have like those two brackets that like the wooden like, pole
Right.
goes into.
Exactly.
So it's like diameter, maybe like 2 inches in diameter, like pretty thick.
Yeah, you
It's pretty
fuck
thick,
you fuck somebody up with that.
And I wrapped the bottom half in like tape and like duct tape for better grip. Yeah, because it needed to have a handle. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course.
And I wrote on the side of it. It was Peacemaker because I was watching a show and this guy had a bat behind the bar and it was called Peacemaker.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah,
Yo.
that's what my shit's called too.
How old were you?
Badass. I was like 9.
You're like the most
9 or
badass
10.
9-year-old ever.
Yeah, dude. Except I was a total puss.
Not those fucking demons.
Except talking to new children made me super scared. It's like, oh, what if they don't like me? So that was my favorite one. Like, and I had a bunch of props. I had a bunch of like swords and.
I never had a fucking 6-foot bow staff named Peacemaker. What the
man.
fuck? I just had pinchillos.
I use it as a double-handed greatsword.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
I was
I
accuracy.
slayed some dragons in my day.
Yo,
baby.
I was accuracy through volume. Just as many pinchillos as the job takes. That's it.
that and guns because my dad was always growing
Oh,
up. My
dude.
dad was a gun guy, so like toy guns were just like a must.
I had a lot of toy guns, but not because Dad was a gun guy, just because I felt that sometimes you just gotta shoot somebody or something.
Sometimes you just got to fire metal out of a cylinder.
Also, most of my heroes at the time in movies and TV shows, they were pretty strapped, bro. They were letting them things bark.
action heroes.
Oh yeah, all the
day.
time. I mean, dude, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the last action, what was it that movie he did, The Last Action Hero? The one where like the kid gets like his like golden like movie ticket and he flies into the screen and suddenly he's in like a movie world, but to that movie world rules are real.
Last action hero I've actually never seen.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Stop. But all the classic Arnold movies I grew up watching, right? So Commando, Predator,
Twins.
Twin, Kindergarten Cop. No.
Who's your daddy? And what does he do?
True Lies.
That was a great movie.
Oh, True Lies is
I
such a
fucking
good movie,
love
dude.
True Lies.
Jamie Lee Curtis can get it.
That dancing scene. I think that was around the time that I'm like, I think girls might be a thing, dude.
I
Like,
think girls might just be more than mean to me and
That's-
family.
this is real right now. I don't know.
But I remember also growing up on like The Last Boy Scout, and Die Hard.
Die Hard was good. That was fantastic.
Lethal Weapon, like all the
You know, I
classic
never
action
saw any of the
movies.
Lethal Weapons.
Lethal Weapon's so good.
I've never seen any of them.
Dude, Glover Gibson. Can't go wrong.
I mean, it sounds like a good combo.
It really is a good combo.
Is it a buddy cop though? Like
It
style?
is, yeah. Straight up a buddy cop. A buddy cop with a little harder edge than like buddy cops would have. Like, it's not like Beverly Hills Cop.
Because the
Buddy
closest,
cop.
like my first ever exposure to like I guess like a real buddy cop was, the first Rush Hour.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, because of our age.
Right.
But yeah, it's not the first buddy cop movie, you know.
No, I'm saying that's the first time that I ever saw one that I was like, I understand what's going on
Oh,
here.
yeah. But yeah, watching all those movies as a kid, like, yeah, it just peaked.
Dude.
And then like watching shit like Predator and stuff like that, I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm fighting
God.
Predator clearly when I get home.
Oh
Like,
no,
I'm
and
killing Predator.
you saw my backyard on the old house.
Oh yeah, so
Can you
many room for
imagine how many
activities.
times that I fought Predator?
Oh dude,
Yo,
every day.
I'm like 75-0 against that dude. You kidding me? Camouflage or no camouflage? I know the environment.
This is my home Predator.
You're not the only one that can climb trees, you fucker.
And I might not be invisible, but god damn it, am I silent?
Dude, you kidding me? You don't
In
think
real
these,
life? Ah!
you don't think this banana leaf that I stuffed to the back of my pants and hangs over the front of my head is camouflage enough? I am the forest.
I am the one who knocks.
Motherfucker.
But yeah, man, those were some of the fucking like best memories. Like looking back on them, just because I don't think I've ever been, how do I say, encouraged as much as I was to be like a little weirdo. Because I remember my mom just like, I would tell her all my adventures and all that shit. And she'd just be like, "Oh my god, that sounds so amazing," and like she'd just be like so supportive. Like,
Yeah.
keep going to have adventures.
My parents would do the same thing for the most part. I mean, there was always that like, all right, that's enough. It's time to come back home. Like, come back to reality, sort of. But no, for the most part, yeah, I was given free reign over my own creativity. Like, do whatever you want. Just don't hurt anybody and don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And don't break anything because then we'll kill you.
I would hurt myself on a regular basis.
Did
but
you ever
it was
have
like-
any like specific house rules that you had to know, you had to obey before you went on your adventure?
Don't break anything was always like a it goes without saying kind of rule.
Dude, my mom had this. She still has it. She has this porcelain statue of a gitana, like basically like a belly dancer.
Okay.
And she's got like a tambourine and everything. Yo, mom would like, you could set this fucking house on fire. If you break that fucking gitana statue, I'm gonna use the pieces to construct your tombstone. Like,
all it's gonna say on your tombstone was you shouldn't have touched the gitana.
Dude, that shit. And like,
What,
of
did she
course,
get it at like a, did she get
I
it from
don't.
like a
you-
gypsy who put a spell on it. Like,
I've never asked her where she got it from. I'm sure she's probably told me, but it's gotten to the point now where like you have in our family, if you're like with the 3 kids, we have fucking like there's straight reverence for that thing. Like you see it and you kind of like you
treat
nod
it-
your head in respect because you're like you made that statue made it through our childhood through 3 kids.
Do you treat it like an idol?
Not really. It feels like it sometimes where like I see it at her house and I'm like, yo, that shit's a relic. Like that thing has borderline religious iconography at this point because
there's power in the gitana.
yo, it's for real. And I remember that like we'd have cleaning ladies every now and again, you know, where my mom would go through this spurt where she's like, for the next 6 months, we're going to have a cleaning lady because I'm done cleaning this fucking
done
house.
with you fucks.
Yeah. And they would break stuff once in a while because that's what happens with cleaning ladies. And we'd occasionally have the one that would just be like, you know, Senora Cruz, like I broke something, yada, yada, yada. And most of the time it was dumb. It'd be like a vase or a vase, depending on how much it costs. And mom would be like, all right, thanks for telling me.
Really quick.
Yes.
Is that what it is? I
What?
thought it was size. Vase
For
and
me,
vase.
it's always been, if it's $25 or less, it's a vase. If it's more than $25, it's a vase.
Really?
For me. Everybody has some different reason.
I always thought a vase was a bigger vase. Was like you know when it's like a really big decorative vase?
Yeah, like the ones that are almost like hip height that are like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, like a ridiculous.
Yeah, like that's a vase.
Yeah, for sure that's a vase.
Right. But what if it's something that's really small and ornate and
It's a
really
vase.
expensive? It's still a vase?
Still a vase to me, yeah.
I feel like
It's
vase is
size
so
to me.
like, oh, it's a cool vase you have, and it's just a giant glass. Like you got this shit at fucking
that's
Dollar
basically-
General.
That's basically what vases are.
You know? But then you went to like a pottery place and some dude like handcrafted like a vase for you. That shit's not a vase anymore. That's a
No,
vase.
it's a vase, baby.
That's a vase, son.
Was it free?
No, you paid for that shit.
How
That
much
was
did you pay?
handcrafted. No, I'm saying if it's $25 or more, that dude at least charging you 60, 70 bucks for that thing. That's a vase
That's
now.
ridiculous. Okay, so what if I make what if I make a thimble-sized vase, but it costs like $2,000?
That's a really small vase, son.
Jesus, I can't get behind this.
You don't have to. I'm saying it's my thing, baby. You
I'm
make
gonna-
up your own.
I'm gonna pontificate on this and then.
Pontificate all you want.
So yeah, so they would break something.
So yeah, they'd break something and they'd tell my mom. My mom would be like, okay, cool. But I always felt like she'd pull them to the side and be like, break whatever you want. If you touch the gitana, your family dies. Like,
I will burn you at the stake in my backyard.
yeah, like my mom does not play games. I'll say this about my mom, and I love her more than the air in my own lungs, but if my mom ever gave me 2 things, it was a sense of empathy and the sharpest fucking teeth that she could ever help me file down. Like, she gave me that sense that, like, there are sharks out there and you have to be 20 times more vicious than they ever will be. But before you do, show them compassion and empathy.
Thank God you elaborated on that because I absolutely thought that she made you file your teeth down as a child to be more shark-like, and I was actually kind of worried.
You say this,
You know?
fun medical fact about me. I actually had, like, human-style shark teeth. I was born with 2 sets of permanent teeth.
What?
Yeah, so I'll explain this.
You got both?
Yeah, no, I didn't keep them both. There's actually a human out there with my teeth somewhere. I'm kidding. My teeth were ground down, and I
was
spread
gonna
their
say
ashes.
gross.
No. Super gross.
Super gross. So you had baby teeth?
So I had baby teeth, and then I had a set of permanent teeth.
Got real overachiever.
Super. We're going for gold.
Teacher's pet in here.
Dude. So I had my baby teeth, and then I had my permanent teeth, which are right on top of them in the normal way that they should have been, and then I had a second set of permanent teeth that were essentially all folded horizontally, like somewhere up in my skull, which explained why as a kid, like kindergarten, first, second grade, I had nosebleeds like clockwork. Like at least once, I'd have at least one good solid nosebleed every like 2 or 3 days.
Because you were beavering it.
Basically, from what my
Your teeth
dentist,
growing
I remember, what I
apart.
remember him explaining to me is that the teeth in my skull, the ones that were like the second set, were basically like they already had grown like nerves and shit around them, and every time that they'd move, it would cause a nosebleed for some reason. Like the ones that were close to my
I'm assuming
nose,
it would be pressure.
probably.
It would probably burst a blood vessel or something. And it would
Something.
bleed.
I wouldn't feel it. Like I would just be talking to
Yeah.
someone, be like, "We're gonna play back." Oh my god, you're bleeding.
It's like
And-
if you've ever picked your nose and you forget to like trim your nails,
And you
just,
kind of
like,
cut
nick
yourself
it,
a little bit.
and you don't even feel it. You're just like,
Right.
a little, like you're like, oh, I
No,
scratched
but
it a little hard,
this-
and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
No, but this would be me talking to someone, and it'd be like a coke addict. Like suddenly, just a stream of blood would shoot out of my nose, and the people would be like, "He's dying, miss." And I thankfully learned at that time, and there was this one teacher, fantastic third grade teacher. I had her very briefly. Her name was Miss Sotolongo, and she was the only teacher that never made me tilt my head back, which apparently is really bad for you if you have a nosebleed.
Yeah,
She would make me go to the bathroom with like a buddy, and she would be like, "I know it's gonna be gross. Look into the sink and just blow your nose. Just blow all the snot and the blood out. It'll stop the bleeding." And I was like, that makes no sense to me, but okay, cool. And I would do it, and it looked like a shotgun blast, like Jackson
blood,
Pollock,
yeah.
just boom. But sure as shit, after doing it like 2 or 3 times, she'd be like, "When you're done, make sure you pinch your nose. Like just sit up straight.
Yeah.
Don't tilt your head back. Just pinch your nose." And I would do it, and I felt fine, and the bleeding would stop.
Yeah.
Whereas 2 older teachers would be like, "Tilt your head back. It'll make the bleeding stop." And I'd be like, "No."
back, say like 4 Hail Marys.
Now I just have the fucking bloodiest loogies ever. Like if I spit, I'm gonna look like I'm a professional boxer.
I was always,
So multi-teeth, by the way, that was a thing. A really live. Like I actually had shark teeth.
I'd actually want to say something about this. It's so weird when you're a kid, like when you're little, like shit like that is just taken so differently. Because I remember losing my teeth in like kindergarten, and it being like the talk of the class for like the latter half of the day. Like if we had like 2 or 3 hours left, it was after recess.
That like you lost a tooth.
Yeah,
that was
like my tooth was loose, and it'd be like, oh, my tooth came out, and we'd be like, oh,
Let me
my
see it.
tooth came out. Oh, let me see it. Oh, what? Oh, and teacher would be like,
Can I feel it?
Give me your tooth so we can clean it. And I just remember everyone just like freaking out about it. But if you take that scenario now, and like let's say you will go to work,
And a
and
tooth
your
comes out.
Tooth comes out. People just.
You should go to a doctor right now.
Jesus Christ, that's not good.
You know, the first like, hey, do you want to take the day off? You have sick hours like you can use.
But man,
You should
kids,
go to a
Kids
dentist.
just think everything's fucking interesting.
You want to hear?
everything's new.
You want to hear some funny shit about teeth?
Yeah, go
And
for
now
it.
that we're still, bringing
By the
mom
way,
back on
how
this,
did they get your teeth out?
so we're gonna get to that. This is gonna be a saga. So, backstory for those of you who haven't
Dental
put it
nightmares.
together. I am of Cuban and Spanish heritage. Being born in Miami, that is not at all a rare thing. So when I was very young, and I lost one of my first baby teeth, it was because we had an old swing set back when safety was not a thing. This was an iron swing set, like basically set into concrete somewhere in my like half acre of a jungle in my backyard.
Yeah.
And my sister, shout out to Gabby, thanks, pushed me down, and I hit my face on something, probably concrete.
Solid sister move.
At 100%, and my tooth flew out. I found the tooth, ran inside with her. My mom had heard that if you put a baby tooth in a small amount of milk and you take it to the dentist right away, they can still save it. Like if that tooth was not ready to come out yet, they can somehow, through some sort of weird dental witchcraft, can put it back in your face. I don't know.
Why would they? But
I don't know.
It doesn't affect your tooth growth. So
Guess what mom did? Mom didn't hear a small amount of milk. Mom was, oh my God! Grabs the tooth and bloop, drops it into a gallon of milk.
just wasted.
And just took that shit with me to the dentist. And the dentist was like, wow, first off, great instincts putting it into milk. But holy hell, did you overdo it?
So much milk.
Like, just wow.
Could have used a thimble of milk.
Just, you could have, like, a drop, just like a turkey baster, and just put a couple drops on it. It would have been fine. My mother put it into an entire gallon of milk.
So it looked like she went to the dentist, but forgot she had done groceries.
And showed up, I need dental work. Don't worry about the milk. And he was just like, he just straight told her, like, don't worry about it. So for the longest time,
you wasted your time.
right. So for the
And
longest
milk.
time, I just had this fucking gap in my face. I was a hideous child. I'd like to preface this by saying that I was just a round, suntanned, toothless, ball of energy
To be
until
fair,
I hit like
most
13 or
children
14.
Are just the grossest.
Yeah, just hideous
Just
crotch
the
goblins.
ugliest.
So eventually, upon that that fateful day,
Mhm.
the dentist was like, why don't we just do some x-rays while we're here, make sure there's no damage to the jawline, that he didn't crack another tooth or something. Just be safe. He's 5. So he comes back with the x-rays and he's like, I need to talk to you. And my mom is like, oh my
Your
God,
son's a shark.
we don't know how this happened.
Did you have sex with a great white? Possibly a Mako?
Did you adopt him from a experimental government facility somewhere in Nevada? Like,
Where did you give birth? Miami Aquarium?
apparently. So he shows her the x-rays and he then has to point out to her, like, you see all those little dots? Those are all teeth. And my mom was like, yeah, those are his permanent teeth. And he goes, those aren't the ones I'm pointing at. I'm pointing at the ones above those. And that's when mom was like, oh, snap.
Oh, snippety snap.
Yeah,
snap.
shit, son. This is real. And he explains to my mom, like, look, he's got 2 sets of permanent teeth. It's not like that it's like he's, 1 in a million. It's just rare. Like,
Yeah.
it's not very common, but it is known about in the dental, dental practices, and we know how to fix it. So they were like,
Growth
but
hormones went a little crazy.
just a hair. So they told her, like, just let him go about his normal procedure. Like, his baby teeth will fall out. The permanent teeth that are above them will come in. When those are coming in, we're going to have to remove those and pull down the other ones. Yo, that surgery was out of control.
Fuck that.
I also
I'm
have
assuming you're asleep.
No. So I have this thing with getting, like, needles, like, in my arms.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And it's not the needle. It's just, like, the idea of having a foreign object in my body. Not fun.
Oh, that's the problem with Chrissy.
Yeah, so, like,
Christy hates the thought of, like, something being pushed into her body. Like, an outside liquid being pushed into her body. No, but, like, intravenously.
I was going to say, that's going to make sex weird.
Sexuals, yeah, that's totally fine and natural and normal.
So
But she doesn't have a vagina on her arm for needles, you know what I mean?
this is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
That'd be really awkward.
just put it in my elbow vagina. Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
Kill with fire.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Call the cops. So we go to the doctor, to the surgeon, to do this whole thing. And I was just in there with my sister. Again, shout out to Gabby. She was there for a lot of these adventures.
Yeah, seriously.
She's my ride or die. So we're in there like
She's every time someone passes by, I did that.
I did that.
I did that.
I broke him. So we're in there making jokes, talking shit. It's the two of us and my mom. And I knew that I was going to have to get a shot for something, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't realize that it was going to be general anesthesia because they're like, no, he's not awake for this. Like, he's out.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to do that with general anesthesia, and I don't want to get the needle. And they were like, okay, that's fine. We can put the anesthesia in a cup of soda. You drink that, and you're done. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's do that. Disgusting, by the way. I still remember the taste. But I was out fast. But before I got there, I freaked out my sister. Because 5 minutes before, we were laughing and joking and making jokes and talking shit. They put us in our waiting room, like in our little private surgery suite. And I'd never experienced the Benadryl effect before. Like the tranquilizer where you're just like trying to fight it. You're like, I don't feel so. This is weird. And I had my first ever, like, I don't feel good, Mr. Stark kind of moment. And I was fading in and out of consciousness, and it felt weird. And I told my mom, like, Mom, what's happening? I don't feel right. And my sister just went 0 to 100, just freaking out. What did they do to my brother? Like losing her mind. And my mom was like, I'm going to take her out of the room.
Yeah.
And
She's making a ruckus.
And I knocked out.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, it's been like 2 or 3 hours later. The surgery's done. They removed all of my permanent teeth and brought down the other ones.
Nice.
My mouth filled to the brim with blood.
Oh, yeah, just the blood.
And they were like, by the way, you're going to throw up now? And I was like, why? They're like, the anesthesia. And I was like, oh, that's... I literally threw up what felt like a gallon of blood.
Oh.
I repainted the toilet. Yeah, don't listen to this podcast if you're eating, by the way. Super late warning on that, but
yes, spoiler alert.
Dental surgery is fucking rough. Welcome to the fucking Thunderdome, dude.
That sounds horrible.
So
How
then,
bad was the pain after? Like recovery pain?
I mean, to the best of my memory, it felt like I had been repeatedly punched in the face by an amateur boxer for the period of like a week. Yeah, just pinpoint accuracy with one knuckle. And after that, it was just letting my teeth sort of kind of adjust, and then braces for I think the better part of 7 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, that sucked.
God, what a way to fuck up, dude.
Yeah, I know.
God,
Thanks
you
a
cost
lot.
your parents a lot of fucking money.
Well, we had good insurance.
You had to go through a lot of pain.
I mean, I learned through all of this, through all of my dental, adventures, especially getting my wisdom teeth taken out, which, by the way, if you haven't done those and they need to get taken out, please just do it. Don't ruin your smile and then deal with the headaches and the pressure. It's not worth it. If you can get it done, please do. Also, the drugs they give you, super duper fun. Also, because of that, I became a huge advocate for getting gassed when you're going to go into surgery. It's so delicious. It's amazing. I have a story about getting gas. They made me count down.
It is the strangest feeling.
Dude, they made me count down from 10. James, I made it to potato. Like 10, 9, potato.
I made it to... I had to get an endoscopy.
I've had 4 of those. And 1 colonoscopy. Not fun.
Christy's dad, he used to do that without anesthesia.
Really? Just straight?
Oh, yeah. He'd be like, just fucking give me the camera.
Wow. That is...
Because he wanted to drive himself. He didn't want to have to be... He didn't want to have to go on.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Wake up and do all that and get drowsy. He's like, fuck that, dude. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go get a drink.
No, my gag reflex is entirely too powerful.
Yeah. They would numb him out. Like, they'd numb his throat out.
I thought they just sat him down in the waiting room. They're like, don't anybody worry about this. He's special.
I mean, it's just uncomfortable. You have like...
They're just feeding a garden hose into his throat. Like, you're all right.
Basically, just feeding wire.
I hope they don't use the same camera for the colonoscopies.
But yeah, dude, the fucking counting down, like the gas, when it was just like, all right, well, you're gonna count down from 10, and then you're just gonna go to bed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever.
You ever go night?
But so this was like right after that fucking what's that movie? What's that shitty fucking Hayden Christensen movie?
Hayden Christensen movie?
Hayden Christensen.
Christensen.
That's how you say his name.
Is it Jumper?
No, before that, where he's getting like a heart surgery, but he's awake for it.
Isn't it called Awake?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Awake.
That was fast.
Blocked the movie out of my brain. So I had just seen that like 2 months before.
Okay.
Because Christy had a huge crush on Hayden Christensen growing up, so we had to see every fucking movie he was in. So I saw that, and then I have to go get an endoscopy. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna wake up in the middle of this fucking thing.
Wow.
I'm gonna have a camera in my throat. I don't know what's gonna go on.
Why would you willingly watch that before going into a surgical procedure?
I didn't know I was gonna get an endoscopy. I literally started having stomach cramps, and my mom was like, "Okay,
like midway through the movie,
gastro. Huh?
Like midway through the movie?
No, dude. Like 2 months after they were watching.
Oh, I'm here. Like you guys sat down to watch it, and suddenly like, oh my god, my butt, and they're like,
oh, someone take me to surgery immediately.
I don't know why their immediate thought is
calling 911.
Stick a camera.
I've just seen Awake. Surgery now, please. They're like the bad Hayden Christensen movie.
They're doing the review over the phone with you. Are you sure the movie isn't making you feel like that?
No, it was 2 months before I saw the movie. And then 2 months later, I had an endoscopy. So they were like, all right, just take deep, full breaths, count backwards from 10, and eventually you'll go night. And I think I got to like 8, and I was in the middle of saying 7, and then all I remember is waking back up.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't. It felt immediate. Like I felt like my consciousness go, and then I remember like waking up and freaking out internally because I thought I was waking up in the middle of the procedure because everything feels so quick, right?
Right. Yeah.
But no, I was waking up to my mom going like, "Hey, can you wake up already?" Like the 8-year-old woke up. Can you? Because I was like 16 at the time.
I'm glad she's like embarrassed at this point.
She's just like, "Hey,
can you fucking speed it
like,
up?"
The nene woke up. Can you fucking come on?
Keep up, please.
And I'm just like, what? So I'm like basically stoned, and my mom is making me feel bad because the 8-year-old who went in like 5 minutes before me is already like up and about.
Fuck that guy.
So but I always thought that it was like the weirdest feeling going out, and then just like all that time is just gone, like but immediately gone. There's no like black for a second then wake up. There's no like sleepy time. Like no, it's instantaneous. Like lights off, lights on.
And this is for the endoscopy?
Yeah.
I've only
maybe like a 20-minute procedure.
Yeah, no, I've the 4 that I had or the 3 that I had felt forever, but yeah, I think mom told me that they were like, in reality, the whole thing was 25 or 30 minutes. From like the second the camera goes into your mouth to when they're like, okay, we're done, go ahead and put him on the bed. That's like a 25 to 30 minute procedure, plus like maybe 10 or 15 minutes like up or down on you, like wakey up recovery time.
Yeah.
I have only woken up kind of sort of during one procedure ever, and it was getting my wisdom teeth taken out.
Nope.
The surgeon cracked the last tooth
No,
as he was pulling it out. I woke up for a second. Like, I came out like, "Well, hi." And all I remember hearing was the nurse going, "Oh no, honey." And I just hear like
suffocate that boy.
Just
gas.
put the gas. Just gas him.
I woke up for a second. She
But
made sure I knocked the
That's
fuck out.
all I heard was, "Oh no, honey." And she turns on the fucking gas, and I was like, "What?" And I knocked out again. And the next thing I know, I wake up, I'm in the waiting room. They had somehow gotten me out of the bed, like the chair, and I'm just sitting in the waiting room.
How old were you when you got your wisdom teeth removed?
I must have been 15, maybe.
I mean, even now you could be.
But I
moved
was
by a team
just,
of two.
I looked like a corpse. I must have looked like just a slumped over bag of meat in the waiting room while these other fucking poor terrified people are there to get their wisdom teeth. Like, is that what's going to happen to me in an hour?
Do they kill me and take my soul and I'm an empty husk?
The only thing I remember was that as I'm coming at, sorry, hiccups. As I was coming out of it, my mom is at the counter filling out the end of the paperwork, being like, all right, what prescription are they giving him? And they're like, listen, we're going to give him, I think it was like 50 milligrams of Vicodin or something like that. And I just remember going, woo, Vicodin, let's do it. And my mom is like, I am so sorry. And they're like, don't worry, he's super high right now. Like, the gas and the anesthesia,
pretty mild.
this is fine. You're going to have, this is going to be enjoyable. And the whole way to the car, I was like, this is great. Who are you? Where's my...
Thanks, nice lady.
Where'd my lips go? Like, I wish that it had happened now, like that I was younger so we could record it.
Do you know feet are right here?
Is this real life? Yeah. This was
I don't remember
our shoes' feet, by the way.
I don't remember if I was like saying anything. Because there was... I don't know. I don't remember much. Also, my mom is like a very like not detailed storyteller. So like she doesn't play things back in like a very, like when you walk with her story, you're like, oh my God, it was Monday at like 3 p.m. I got to the grocery store.
Your mom is just like, a thing happened.
Yeah, my mom was just like,
this thing happened.
Yeah, we
You're
went
all
to
right.
a thing. Yeah, he was like all messed up or whatever. And then and I'm just like, but I need deets, man.
The deets.
I need to know what's up. Did I say anything weird? Did I hit on everything? Was I trying to kiss a tree? Like, give me something.
I felt like I hit on one of the nurses that day that I got. I just don't remember.
Probably.
The crazy part is that like when I was sitting down in the chair, the nurse gave me a stress ball, and I was like, I mean, I'm not particularly stressed out. Is there a reason I need this? Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, honey, I mean, we're gonna have to put like the IV in your vein, and I was like, really no, the fuck, we are not. And that was because they didn't know that they were gonna have to give me the gas. They just thought they were gonna give me general anesthesia. I was gonna go night, and they're gonna do the procedure. So when she tells me that they're gonna stick me, my immediate reaction, of course, was, no, the fuck, you are not at all.
I am leaving.
Yeah, you are fucking mistaken. And so I called my mom in, and I was like, you didn't tell me anything about an injection, nothing. And she's like, but how did you think that this was gonna go down? And I was like, not fucking like this. And I was like, can I get gas? I've heard of this laughing gas stuff. Help me out. Hook it up. And they got the gas. I don't know if it cost more. I didn't give a shit. I wasn't paying for this. I had health insurance.
I think it actually does.
All I know is that they wheeled in a
tank.
Like a tank, and it had this like gigantic...
Fill me up like a helium balloon, baby.
What I do remember was the fact that the tank looked super antiquated versus what was hooked up to it, which was like a computer with the most futuristic looking plastic mask you've ever seen, because it covers your whole fucking face. It's like a helmet almost. And they just
up to like a tetanus fucking wet dream.
It's just it's like an iron lung. It says, what is this ancient piece of shit? And then the mask is from 2095. And they put it over me, and she's like, all right, you're gonna be fine, don't worry about it. It has like a rubber seal and everything. Mm-hmm. And it goes over, and she turns on the gas.
Yeah, they can't have the room filling with that shit.
Yeah, no, she turns on the gas, and she's like, all right, sweetie, just breathe like deep breaths and count down from 10. And like I said, I made it to potato. It's 10, 9, potato, and that's it. I was out. and I woke up sort of, kind of. I don't remember waking up 100%. I do remember kind of opening my eyes, sort of, and hearing, "Oh no," and hearing the nozzle turn on, and just being like, and knocking out again.
Goodbye.
And then the next thing I remember was I was in the waiting room, celebrating Vicodin, like, "Hey, Vicodin, woo! This is gonna be great." And then everything after that was like flashes. Like I have a momentary flash remembering going outside and it being super bright and sunny, and mom hauling my ass to the car. And after that, the next thing I remember is my mom and my dad tossing my lazy ass into bed, because it's not lazy. I was maybe like $120, $130. I was a very skinny child. But when you're boneless, dude, you might as well weigh 2 tons. And they just
dead weight.
They flung me into my bed, and there began probably the longest single sleeping session of my entire life. I think I slept for almost 17 or 18 hours nonstop. I think I got up once to pee. Don't remember it. That was autopilot. Nothing else was working that day.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm not gonna piss.
That was bladder, brain, penis. No other. Maybe the legs. I'm not even sure. I could have floated.
Could have dragged yourself.
Just crawling around the floor. Must pee
in toilet. Have to pee in toilet.
Somehow ends up in the trash can.
I never had like any weird like medical issues as like a kid, like growing up. Besides, like my stomach would have like had an issue, but that was because I had like a weird bacteria in there that I had to get rid of.
What did you have, like H. pylori?
Something like that.
Okay.
Some weird shit. It was causing me to have like stomach cramps, and like I wasn't able to keep food down too well. And
you know me, I'm like gastrointestinally broken, so I'm right there with you. I know how you feel.
But that was the only like issue I had. And then the only thing I had growing up that was like that I hated was I had a skin tack. Like in the center, I still have a scar in the center, like right above my belly button, like right here. I had a really big skin tack.
Really?
Yeah, like for dude, ever since I can remember, and it was the fucking worst because it was like that tall.
Please tell me that was your imaginary friend.
No.
We've come full circle.
It was my imaginary, or my very real enemy. Yeah, because I fucking didn't want to take my shirt off. I didn't want, like it was just like really embarrassing. And then obviously. Children are the devil.
Yeah.
So they have zero remorse for your feelings.
It's funny how like self-conscious we are at such a young age of certain things. Even with no input.
Sure. And then with no empathy.
Yeah, we just imagine that people are going to make fun of us. No one's actually ever made fun of us for that thing, but we're like, I can guarantee. So I was telling you, like...
Well, it's the same like thing as even when you're an adult, right? Like,
it's the men's warehouse of feelings, but the opposite. You're going to hate the way you look.
But even as an adult, like if you... Let's say you're watching a play. Right? You're just kind of watching a thing. You're not necessarily like hyper-focusing on any specific thing on that stage. You're just watching a thing as it goes. But when you're on the stage... You all of a sudden think that everyone is staring at every single part of you and noticing every little quirk and dysfunction, and it's kind of just like that thought process where you're like, you see this one thing and maybe one person notices it, but in your head you're like, everyone sees it and they're judging me for it and they think I'm a fucking freak.
They're writing down notes to make fun of me later.
Oh, for sure. Or just never inviting me again because I'm a horrible monster. So I had this skin tag. It always bothered me, and I remember I was like 7 or 8 years old, and my mom took me to my pediatrician, and he was great. Dr. Nunez, shout out. Best pediatrician in Kendall. I don't know if you're still in the game, but if you are, go to Dr. Nunez. He's a shit. So we went, and my mom was like, we're going to go get your skin tag removed. And I'm like, yes. Because I heard from my uncle that they freeze that shit.
That's what I thought they do.
That's
what I've heard.
They touch it with a magical wand.
It's like a pen, right?
And it freezes it, and then it just falls off because it's dead.
Isn't that the same thing they do with warts?
Exactly how it was explained to me.
Right.
So I get into the doctor's office. I'm like, all right, cool. We're chilling. It's Dr.
Suddenly
Nunez.
there's a blowtorch.
Sup, bruh?
What the fuck?
He takes me in. Does the whole usual, hey, how you feeling? How you doing, kiddo? Blah, blah, blah. He takes me into a room, and he has me lay down. I'm fucking waiting. I'm like,
let's fucking do this shit.
It's his fucking ice wand they're going to use. Fucking freeze this shit off. It's going to be dope. He comes in the room. He chit-chats as he does. Opens a drawer and pulls out like a little plastic bag. I'm like, oh, that must be the fucking...
That's the ice wand
that they fucking have to change out every time.
Nah.
Opens it up. Pair of medical scissors. And all of a sudden, I start to piece things together.
Oh no!
You gonna cut this shit off my body?
You gonna do me? You gonna do me like that, dog? You gonna do it,
dude? I immediately
freak out
without question. I'm like, nope. I think I literally said that as like a 7-8. I was like, nope. And I sat up like I was like, oh no, we're leaving. Like I'm
right.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
This ain't happening today.
Offended. I'm offended.
We'll reschedule. I mean? My people will call your people.
So I get up to leave, and immediately he's like, "Oh no, you're not going anywhere. Lay down." So it's him, a nurse, and my mom holding me down because I'm losing it. I'm like, no, because my grandmother could have done this shit at home, and she would have given me chocolate milk afterward. So they're holding me down. They're holding me down like a fucking interrogation scene out of a World War II film. And he's just like, dude, he's like, oye, relájate. Un momentico, it's 1 second. Like, it's just going to be 1 second.
Did he at least numb it out?
No. Dude, this guy is fucking real. He's so real. So he's just like, stop, look at me. Take a deep breath. All right? He's like, look, on 3. We're going to do it on 3, okay? I'm like, okay. He puts it around the skin tack at the base. He's like, all right, you ready? Look at me. 1, 2, snip. Snips it. I'm like, and I look down.
And just
blood. Just blood starts pouring out. And then I'm dumb in 7, so I think that now there's just a hole to the inside of me.
Right.
Like, I don't think about the layer of tissue underneath my skin.
It's a gunshot wound.
I'm just like, no, all the blood in my body is going to now escape from this leak that you've
Please
created.
tell me that you plugged it with your finger.
I immediately tried to touch it. He was like, stop fucking doing anything. So they put like a wad of gauze, like an inch thick. It's like a square of gauze.
Right on it.
So yeah, right on it. They tape it down. They're like, you're going to be fine or whatever. And to be fair, this did surprise them a bit because I remember their face being like, oh shit. But the gauze filled up really quickly, like to the point where it started to then leak.
Right.
And they were just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ,
we should get more gauze."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, let's put a little more."
Get me a lighter.
And in my head, I'm just like, "I'm gonna. This is hard. But it ended up being fine, and then I didn't have to deal with my skin tag anymore. But it was the worst surprise because I'm going in there thinking like, "Oh, this is gonna be the most fucking painless thing ever."
Freeze it and that's it and done.
And no, they're gonna.
Oh boy.
Cut it off with scissors.
Yo, let me tell you about the time that I cracked the back of my head open. And by crack it, I mean scratched the surface.
We're going to have to revisit this because we're already...
At how long?
52.
An hour and 52?
No, we're at 52.
Oh, what the fuck?
An hour.
Let's keep going.
No, we're going to keep going, but we have Would You Rathers?
We're going to get to those. I'll summarize it. I was in 7th grade. All right, I was balancing on some like log or something like that in the front of our middle school.
Mistakes were made.
Well, no, it was a really big log. It was like I think it might have been like an old it's an old wooden ship. Like an old like wooden like a phone pole that they ended up like cutting down, and they're like, we're just gonna use this to decorate the front of this middle school.
Okay, so
Florida's a weird place.
2 feet in diameter.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
But it's like nestled in like a ton of fucking mulch, so this thing really isn't moving anywhere. You're not like rolling on log like a fucking lumberjack on a river.
Okay.
You know, you're standing on it.
Which I've always wanted to do.
Right. And there were these gigantic coral rocks behind me, and for whatever fucking reason, one of these little shits that I went to middle school was like, what if I push him off? And he just walked up to me and pushed me backwards, and I fell back, and the only part of my body that's...
What a scientist that kid was.
I wonder what happens if I push him off.
fucking
How does gravity work?
What happens if I push him off? Oh, he gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So I fell back and I scratched the back of my head against a coral rock. For those of you that have never had a cranial or head-based injury, even if it's just scratching the skin, it is more blood than you can imagine. It's more blood than is reasonable. Like,
it's a dramatic amount of blood.
For such a small injury,
Yeah.
like... That's why if you've ever seen, like, I hope you never have to see this, but if you've wandered the internet long enough, you have probably seen a video of somebody shooting themselves in the head. And just...
Jesus Christ, this got dark.
Yeah, well, just the jettison of blood that shoots out of people's noses when that happens, is amazing. And I now know why, having scratched. And when I tell you scratched, I mean like it was a deep enough scratch that if I show you the back of my head right now, you'll notice that I have a bald spot back there because it just took everything with it. The amount of blood that came out was so much that from the front of the middle school through the front doors to the nurse's office, all I could keep saying was, am I going to die? I just kept repeating it to my friend. Am I going to die? Am I going to die? Is this how I die? Because I was like, that's it. The back of my brain is exposed to the elements. I'm going to die now. This is blood loss, 100%.
Yeah.
This is how it ends. And they were like, dude, you're not going to die. Relax. They were just using those shitty brown paper towels that all middle schools used to have. And I think they still do. And they were just, dude.
That literally don't absorb anything.
They don't absorb anything. They just move liquid.
I'm pretty sure that they're hydrophobic.
100%.
They just move liquid around.
Yeah, from point A to point B.
Yeah, there's zero absorption.
I think they literally got these things to absorb my blood because they just wouldn't stop trying until finally the paramedics got there and they used like a thing of gauze. I had lost enough blood that I was getting a little woozy because the paramedic was like, it's enough that it's as a 7th grader, I don't feel comfortable leaving him here. So they put me in the fucking ambulance and they took me to Miami Children's.
Yeah, the last thing I need is for you to pass out.
Right. And when I got to Miami Children's, the doctor was like, dude, he's fine. Like, I shaved the back of his head. He doesn't need stitches. Like, we're going to put a piece of gauze back there and a bunch of Neosporin.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Just make sure that every time he goes into the bathroom, he can take a shower. He shampoos the shit out of his head with what's it called? What's the baby shampoo? The one the no tears or whatever?
Johnson.
Yeah, the unscented like antibacterial one or whatever. Just shampoo with that for like a couple of weeks.
And it's not tear free. It's tear free. And a lot of people don't realize that.
I mean, I've never sat there and like poured it into my eyeballs and be like, this is great.
No. It's tear free. Like it doesn't tear your hair.
Right.
It's not tear free.
Right. No,
so
I get that.
They make like
a tear free one.
A tear free one.
It's like anti-irritant.
But when that started, like it was just people misreading it. It just wouldn't tear your hair. Like it wouldn't cause damage to like baby hair. Yeah.
Well,
ow. That was my elbow.
Good job.
It used to be anyway.
It used to be an elbow. It's now just a bag of dust. So that's how I thought I was going to die one time, by just scratching my head, apparently, on a rock.
Yeah.
Also, fuck that kid. If I ever see him, I'm going to push his ass into traffic.
Or into coral rocks.
Or I'll push him into a quarry of coral rocks.
Head wounds can receive like best supporting actor at the Academy Awards.
Dude.
How dramatic they are.
It's ridiculous.
I remember one time in middle school I got into a fight with this kid and I pushed him into like a fence. And I meant to push him into like the bouncy part of the fence, like the chain link part. And he ran into the pole because that's my luck. And apparently his. And he got like a little cut on his forehead. But
it looked like a sniper had got him.
It was on his forehead. Yeah, it looked like I was beating him bloody.
I mean, you sent a message.
So, and he was a little smaller than me.
It's
so
all
like
right.
Immediately he's crying and making like a fuss about it. I mean, I feel bad because I was like, oh, I didn't want that to happen.
Well, whatever, dog. He stepped up to the wrong guy.
And then everyone's being all mad at me. And mind you, by the way, really quick, in my defense, fuck that kid. He was being a dick.
Yeah, no, fuck him. He got what he deserved.
Multiple times. No, he was like fucking with me. I told him multiple times, I'm like, go away. I'm like, I don't want to interact with you anymore.
Right, but he just kept wanting it.
Please go away. Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, well, fucking go. Like, and that was what I was. Go away, and I fucking pushed him. So yeah, but I remember like his dad came in and picked him up. Oh my god! He gave me the dad look, which I didn't understand at the time because I was a child, but I understand now. But like the look where it's like, "I'll kill you. You hurt my little child boy." Yeah. And I was just like, "You're like," I'm like just looking at him from across. I'm like,
"Yeah,
what?
You had it coming, dude."
So
to quote Wesley Snipes from the first Blade movie, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. That is hands down my favorite movie quote ever. Of any movie ever made, that's it. That's number one for me for life.
Oh, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. He was definitely trying to ice skate uphill. I was the hill and the ice. But everyone thinks that this kid is fucking dying. Like I cracked his head open and like he's fucking like.
I mean, do you blame them?
They call the paramedics. Dude, this kid comes in the next day, and he has a 1/2 inch cut. above his eyebrow.
So you created Harry Potter.
Dude, it is the most insignificant looking thing in the world.
Like a really violent mosquito bite.
Dude, this kid was playing it up so hard.
Oh,
Because he was
course.
acting like I killed him. And I'm like...
I almost died in the hospital.
So when he gets there the next day, I got my vengeance. Because everyone was, as we spoke earlier, being horrible children.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just giving him shit for the fact that he made any big deal about his little forehead cut.
Good. Yeah, because it's Miami in middle school in the 90s and early
dude,
2000s. So everyone was just like, you're a little bitch.
I felt so vindicated.
It's great.
I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Now
Violence.
I'm the hero, I think.
Yeah. At that point, also, listen, as boys in middle school, we didn't believe in anything. We were just there for the violence. That was our whole thing.
I wasn't about like.
Yo, I was definitely there for the violence. Middle school was a violent period. Not for me, because I didn't get into a lot of fights. I'm like maybe 2 or 3.
Jesus Christ.
But it was just fun watching fights happen. Like that energy where just a crowd forms. It's like the fucking Thunderdome. Fight.
Any time. That could happen right now.
I know.
Like Christy and Millie could do that right now, and I'd be like, fight. And I'd
But
expect grandma to come in and fight.
But
fight,
71 strangers will come into my house, and we're okay with the fact that they have now formed a fight circle. Fight.
Oh, those are the best. You can hear from down the hall.
Yo, and tell me that energy. Tell me, when was the last time you felt energy in the air that you felt like you could touch it?
Like that?
Like that you're about to see 2 human beings just beat the shit out of each other. And you're like, I just get to watch this.
Probably the last time I saw a fight in the Ale House parking lot.
Was it a good one, though?
In US 1. It depends on what your definition of a good one is. Because...
Dude, my definition is, like, I have the bar set high because, like, I've seen somebody get literally, like, the entire shit beat out of them.
Well, it was that, and it wasn't that. So, someone did get knocked out. It was not very much a back and forth. It was very much a one and done. This guy was really drunk, though. So, I'll lay the scene. We're at Ale House. There's an event. So, there's a lot of people there, right? It's either a UFC fight or it's fucking St. Pat. It's some shit's going down.
But Ale House is usually pretty packed, though.
Yeah, this was like 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago. So, this guy apparently comes with his friends, and then another group comes. It's like 2 couples and like one other guy. One of those 2 couples, that girl apparently had been dating the guy who came with his friends earlier. So he's unhappy that she's there with her new boyfriend. He gets drunk and starts making a scene. So he starts talking shit to this guy. And this guy is clearly bigger than him and clearly less drunk than him. So he's trying to be like, he's kind of being a good guy. He's just like, hey, dude, I don't want this fucking problem. I'm just here with my chick. Sorry this happened. Like, go about your day, dude. Like, I don't want your problem. I don't want your problem. I don't want your problem. Finally, they're outside of the ale house. This guy has basically walked him out. Like, this party's trying to leave. And this guy just won't stop. And finally, the guy's like, what do you want, dude? Like, we'll go right now. And the guy's like, what? What the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do, dude? What the fuck, dude? It's my girl, dude. It's my fucking girl. Walking up to him, chin out, arms back, like the worst thing you could ever do, super drunk. And like this guy gets just fucking like
laid him out.
Dude, this guy just hooks him once.
That's it.
Boom. This guy goes out. I'm talking about
on the button.
Looney Tunes style, fall back, head hits the concrete, bounces off the concrete.
No. Oh, that's
the worst part.
Yeah,
is the head bounce.
Oh, and I've heard that before in real life, just like that skull cracking sound on concrete and pavement, and it's, bro, that like there's not a lot out there that makes me shudder. Oh yeah, hearing that in real life gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
you're hearing brain damage.
Yeah,
like you're like, oh,
I just heard I just heard a human brain bounce inside of a skull. Oh yeah. God,
you're not the same person you were 3 seconds ago.
Nope.
So yeah, this guy goes out immediately. Like that guy and his girl like dip, like they leave immediately. They're like, oh, we don't want any of this. So they get in the car, they go. And
you grab his legs, I'll grab his arms.
This guy goes full, like, you know, like the rigor mortis. Like,
oh yeah, like where they stiffen up and they're like,
yeah. So yeah, he went full concussion. He's like totally out. Yeah, and then he woke up to police officers arresting him. So
And I'm sure they did it gently too, because at that point it's like he's just a bag of stupidity
he
and
wasn't
meat.
fighting anymore. Yeah, he was just
No.
like, "Where am I going? Jail? Okay,
Got
cool."
it. They have a bed there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So, but yeah, that was the last fight I saw, which was pretty good, and definitely had all the keynotes. Had the people, had the yelling, had the tension that you could feel.
yeah, that energy.
I had our friend Marie next to me yelling, "Fuck him up! Fuck him up! Yeah, you fuck him up!"
I'm glad. What a.
I was like, "Marie, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm living the moment.
I'm being my best self.
I'm living my best life." But yeah, there is nothing quite like a physical altercation. Like there's like an electricity. There's nothing like violence to give you that electric
There is, yeah.
feeling.
It's nice.
Well, it's just like it's the most primal.
You
That's what
almost
it comes down
don't.
to.
You almost don't know what to do with it as a spectator. Like you sometimes don't even know what to do with that energy, if it's something you're not used to.
Well, it's why like
People,
brawls break
some
out.
people get like nervous and they're like, "Oh fuck, what was gonna happen now?" And they get like,
Well, yeah, dude, you don't know what the fuck people are gonna do. People take that energy and they run with it. They're like,
some people do, yeah.
"Oh, you're fucking that guy up? Cool.
I'm just gonna
I've
punch
not
the
liked
next-
that guy over there all night, so I'm gonna go fuck that guy up."
Yep.
And it happens all the time. Like bar
And that's how
brawls
riots
start.
happen.
All it takes is a fight breaking out, someone in that fight accidentally hitting a spectator, like if they go to throw a punch and they
Yep.
elbow them by accident or something.
And now that guy's
that
pissed.
spectator's pissed. Now they jump in, but a friend of the guy who's fighting is going,
trying to
"Oh,
pull
fuck
him
you,
off."
You're not gonna jump my boy." And then that other guy's friend jumps, and then it just
Yeah.
turns into like a fucking
And
whole
that's when it turned into a
and then it
ballroom
turns
blitz.
into a party. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say the ballroom blitz, but yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. All right, so it's that time.
I don't even really know what we just talked about in its entirety.
Me either, but you know what? I'm happy the way it came out, and
Figure it
that's how we segue
This
straight
podcast is
into.
basically just us getting together. Talking
It's just
about
nonsense. Yeah, it's just nonsense. But now we move into our favorite
stuff.
section.
Would you
which is-
rather's?
Yeah,
Is it would you rather time?
it is. Would you rather? And
Would you rather suck or fuck?
um,
That's mine for this week.
you know, I'm not entirely sure.
Really?
I think it depends on the situation. As a guy, would you rather suck or would you rather fuck? I don't know, man.
Dude, I love eating puss. It's kind of one of my favorite things.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you right there, and only because I know my parents listen to this,
Oh.
so I'm gonna keep it. At least on my end, I'm gonna keep it PG just
Sorry,
for their
moms.
sake.
Sorry, moms and pops.
I mean, listen. You
Do
know
I have to
what?
censor myself? I'm not censoring myself for your parents.
No, you don't have to.
Listen, I love you guys.
It's a natural thing.
I'm a 28-year-old adult.
Human sexuality is a beautiful, natural thing.
Eating
And if
puss is
that's
great, yes.
if that's one of the things that you like is servicing your wife, dude, more power to you. You know,
I believe the term you're looking for is eating puss.
that is the scientific term. I'm big into the boobs. They're a
Yeah?
they're a fantastic set of attachments.
Is that your go-to body part attraction?
I mean, look, I am an ass man,
I am.
but there are few things on earth that beat just a good solid pair of tits.
Agreed.
Like, and size does not matter. Shape does not matter.
Whoa. All these things matter.
No, not really. Once you've seen one pair, you want to see them all.
No, for sure. I mean, they're all different, but
But they're great.
everything matters.
Well, I mean, it matters in that, like,
Objectively, for your
Sure.
for your own like.
for your own pleasure and your own just the like, oh, I like looking at this and
Yeah.
feeling it. But, like, I'm just as happy around a pair of A cups as I am around a pair of double Ds and everything in between. Like, boobs are great. They're just fantastic.
What
and they
is
give
it-
life.
And what is it about boobs that you could literally stare at?
I don't know.
Because
They're
it's not
just-
even. I'm telling you right now.
It's
for-
just a weird appendage to see on a human being.
well, for any woman listening. It's not all the time. Most of the time, it's not even sexual.
Yeah, it's not. I'm just fascinated.
It's just there's boobs there.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
just
these
I
are
wanna
nice to look
the
at.
yeah, they're just boobs. Like,
It's I compare it almost to, and I mean, this is as good as I can get because I'm not a woman, so I don't know what happens in their infinitely more complex mind than mine does. But I feel like it's when a chick sees a guy that has like fantastic bone structure, like he's got just the best jawline on earth, and they just, it's not that they're like, oh my god, he's so hot, like I just want to look at him. They're just looking at him because they're like, wow, that guy's really like that bone, like his jaw is amazing, like that
Yeah.
face is perfectly symmetrical, like an actor or something. it transcends something sexual. At that point, it's just like I'm fascinated by looking at you.
Yes.
And that's how I sometimes feel about boobs. Is I'm just like, it complements your body so well. Like certain women, certain boob sizes on them complement their body shape, their height, their weight, their figure, everything. And you're just like, you're in awe of it for a moment, that you're just appreciating the human form.
Yeah.
That you're just like, man, that looks good.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But
It
then
is also sexual.
no, there's a sexual component to it.
But there are so many times that I've just been like, oh, boobs.
But just women in general, all shapes, colors, sizes, I don't care. Women are just man, God was having a good day when he made the ladies. Just the best day ever.
Except for the whole period and childbirth thing.
But you know what? I mean, listen, not every system is perfect. They're not. Listen, women.
The male system is far more convenient.
I feel like we've spoken about this. I am convinced that men have their own version of a period where we just become intolerable for like 4 or 5 days of the month for no reason. Nothing is wrong. Like, our favorite sports team is doing fine. Bills are paid. The dogs are healthy. The house is in repair. Like, everything's good. But for whatever reason, there's 3 or 4 days there where you're just this intolerable prick. Everything upsets you, and you're just in a bad, grumpy mood. I go through it once a month. I don't know when, for no reason.
I don't necessarily go through that. I think I unconsciously anticipate, like, when Christy starts PMSing.
Mm-hmm.
Or when she has her period.
And you adjust?
And I kind of like, I can tell because I know when I'm feeling kind of off. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, what day is it? And then I'll kind of know. But she has like her own tells. So I'll know when it's coming.
Millie does too. Like when Millie gets really like snarky with me and she like snaps at every little dumb thing I say, I'm like, oh, okay, you have people visiting from out of town. Got it.
I know when it's Christy's. So Christy has energy explosion. Is day 1. She's
damn, you got this shit mapped out?
She's usually still good. Day 2 is Chicken Little.
What the fuck is Chicken Little?
Sky's falling. Everything's wrong.
Oh, okay, got it.
Every decision she's made up to now has been the wrong one.
I'm a failure.
It's just the sky's falling.
Okay.
The sky's falling down.
Got it.
Day 3 is I'm tired. Like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be awake right now or how I'm supposed to get anything done. I just need to sleep and just disconnect and
damn
relax.
you, she's got wild phases.
Yeah. And then day 4 is kind of a toss-up. It could either be like a continuation of I'm tired or I'm starting to feel a little better. Like we're kind of like on the upswing. I'm still like I got cramps, but like we're still feeling we're starting to get a little better. And then like toward the end of it, she like just like
balances
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Mills, it's not anything even approaching that level of concrete reliability. She just wakes up one day and says, well, for the next 5 days, fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
Like, and that's her response to everyone and everything in existence for 4 or 5 days.
Okay, babe, do you want breakfast? Fuck you.
Yeah,
okay,
pretty much.
Baby, love you so much.
Yeah, have a nice day at work, babe. Go fuck yourself. Like, got it.
What's so fucking nice about today, you piece of shit?
Yeah. Just everything. Like, nothing. No, she's happy about nothing for 4 days. Granted, I go into nurse mode because I am a fantastic house husband and nurse. But anything she needs, baby, you need your heating pad? Yes. Would you like some chocolate? Yes. Do you have all your emergency lady supplies for work tomorrow? No, I don't. Okay, I'll go restock your little bag. Anything. Like, I just want to make it so she doesn't yell at me because it hurts.
Yeah, just like I want to be as helpful as possible.
Yeah, just don't yell at me, please.
I don't know if you know this, but you get really mean.
Yeah, I'm really scared right now.
So mean.
Baby, are you feeling okay? Yeah, are you feeling okay?
Wait, how did we get to the female?
Because you asked, would you rather
suck or fuck?
Yeah, so I have one.
Talking about boobs. Somehow?
Yeah, well, because boobs are amazing.
Yeah, they are. Great.
So I have one for you.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, mine was more of a gag anyway. So
it's okay. So there was actually when we talked about in between this episode and the last, when we were talking about introducing the would you rather's at the end of the episodes, there was a Reddit post, like a thread, on Ask Reddit that was posted by user. I'm not even sure I'm gonna how to pronounce this. Ped Idleb. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Spell that.
PED. PEDITTLEBB. Ped Idleb. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Pedidleb.
Piddilet?
No, ebb. E-B-B at the end. Not T. There's no T. No.
Piddilet.
Yeah, I don't know. Point
What
is...
does it spell backwards?
The pip.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, this is pretty popular. It's got like 59,000 upvotes.
Okay. Yeah,
It's up there.
I would classify that as pretty popular.
The most upvoted comment on here for a Would You Rather
Okay.
is by a user called Rvelts. Okay.
Okay.
RVELTS. It's 38,000 upvotes on this one comment.
Okay.
All songs exist, but they are all performed by Pitbull. Or only one Pitbull song exists, but it's performed by every artist with their own cover interpretation.
Ooh,
Wow.
Number two.
Yeah?
Number two. The one Pitbull song with artist cover takes on it.
Can you imagine every song ever written,
I can't.
but performed by Pitbull?
I can. If I have to hear Pitbull do Blackbird, I'll fucking kill myself.
I'm not even going to attempt to sing it because in my mind I was too busy thinking of like, I don't know. I was thinking like Chopin's Number 9, but just in the middle, Mr. Worldwide, dale, shots.
It's not even him.
This piano is so beautiful. I don't care. That's some shit he'd sing. Shout out to Mr. 305.
Oh my god, I can't imagine a world where all my favorite songs are fucking Pitbull singing them. But
Do you have any other Would You Rathers?
mm,
Because there's some other good ones on that thread.
yeah, there has to be a ton of them.
Oh, I got a good one.
Go.
Wait. Penis-sized nipples or nipple-sized penis? The ancient conundrum.
I guess penis-sized nipples because I can get plastic surgery.
You know, you're not wrong. I hadn't thought of that. You're a smart man.
Yeah, and like if in this scenario if I have access to modern medical technology, then yeah. Did you find another one? What is it?
This is incredible. Would you rather have... Hold on. Okay, here it is, yeah. Would you rather have All-Star by Smash Mouth play every time you orgasm or orgasm every time you hear All-Star by Smash Mouth?
I would definitely want...
I'm going to go with the
All-Star
second one.
No, first. I'd want it to play every time I orgasm.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, just like I finished. It's like, oh, hey now,
you're an
all-star.
Oh, God.
Get your game on, go play. It has to be at the chorus too. It can't be at the beginning. I don't want to start from the beginning. I just want like a 50
No, I want mine
clip.
to. I want mine to start when he starts singing. Will the years get older? What? You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I don't know how the song starts.
I don't remember either. We should not talk about it before one of us orgasms. So, that's basically it. Any other updates? Acting class is going good?
Acting class is going good. We're filming my first scene from La La Land we're doing.
La La Land.
La La Land. So yeah, we're filming that on Thursday. I'm really excited about that.
Fuck yeah, all
right. I'm meeting up with one of my scene partners. Sadly, my other scene partner has the pink eye.
I heard double pink eye.
Double pink eye, man. Someone really doesn't like
She
her.
was definitely part of
Lots of farts in the pillow.
the devil's three-way.
she got the brown end.
Oh.
But yeah, no. But I'm meeting up with my other acting partner, or scene partner, and we're gonna go through it one more time before Thursday. So
Sweet. Okay.
it should be fun, and we can maybe upload it to our Instagram or a clip of it.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
We'll IGTV it or some shit. I don't know. But you'll get to see my bad acting.
That works. Your horrible acting.
My atrocious acting.
Atrocious.
But yeah, no, that's going well.
Okay.
It's definitely been fun. I have 2 more months after this, so I'm excited to see what else we do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. I have I have to keep a promise I made to you in the last episode.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Yes.
Come on.
So at the Improv,
Uh-huh.
they have open mic night.
Okay.
Tickets are like $5 a
that's
person
great.
to get in, which as it should be, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to provide 2 to 5 minutes of material.
What?
That's it. Just 2 to 5 minutes.
That's so good. That's easy.
That's 2 to
It's
5
easy.
minutes.
It's actually not. It's
not. It's going to be probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. But
super difficult.
but you have to provide 2 to 5 minutes of material. And then essentially when you're ready, you contact the improv. You let them know what open mic night you want to do.
Okay.
And then if they've got space, they'll pencil you in.
Fuck
That's
yes.
basically it. So the goal now is going to be to start learning how to write comedy.
Okay.
So I can figure out how do I do 2 to 3 minutes of a bit. I'm going to try to write a whole 5 minutes and then chop it down.
Do 5 to 10 minutes and then cut
And
the
then
fat.
just start cutting it down. Yeah. And I'm going to like try it out on like you guys and Mills and some of my friends and shit and see like what everybody thinks.
What's your time frame?
Like,
You
what
need
do
a
I
time
want to
frame.
do?
No. You need a time frame for when you're going to go up.
What do you mean?
How long are you giving yourself between now and doing an open mic?
Oh, and actually doing it?
Yeah.
You
You need to have a hard date.
The latest open mic night that I saw on their schedule is, I think, September 15th of this year.
Christ, okay.
Don't
wait that long.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's the latest one that I've seen available. Realistically, I want to give myself till the end of the year, but I feel like if I give myself that much of a time frame,
Too much.
I'm just gonna put it off.
That's too much, dude. Like
So I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it before
July.
fall.
July.
Yeah, I'd like to do it before fall.
Okay. But let's say July.
Sure. If
July.
they have something available by the end of July, then I'll give it a shot.
End of July. That's great.
Okay, so we'll go for end of July.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Holy shit.
Okay.
I'm
I
actually
do it with you.
I'm kind
I
of
kind of want to go up.
I
I want
mean
to go up too.
if you can write 5
Solidarity.
minutes if you can write 5 minutes of material
I'll figure
and
something
chop
out.
it down.
I'll figure something out.
But you know what we do? We make sure that they schedule us one right after the other and our bits have to segue into each other.
Oh my god.
But don't tell anybody. We don't know each
Just
other.
immediately start where you left off. Just
Exactly. Just pick up. So everyone will be so confused.
That'd be amazing.
We should try it.
That'd be incredible. All right, I'm really excited about this, by the way.
By the way, how long have we been?
I'm very proud of you.
How long is this
We're
episode?
120.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
And it gives us if we want
Yeah.
to cut anything out.
And I'm also sure the sound quality on this is going to be
I'm hoping it's good.
way
I'm
better.
hoping it's
Well, in
gonna
the
be really
in the
good.
tests that we did before we started recording, they sounded good.
They sounded pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been
This is a good
fun
episode.
trip down memory lane.
Yeah, this is great. We got to do this more
It's been
often.
great. Yeah, we should. Maybe we should start a podcast.
We should. We're going to start a podcast.
All right.
What do you think we should call it?
Something
Something to do with supermarkets, I feel. That's the vibe I'm getting.
God, you love supermarkets so much.
Something with milk, maybe?
Maybe
Cheese?
Something
Something
definitely something aisle. Clean up on aisle 6? No.
No. The meat aisle? No.
Ooh, the
It's not-
medicine aisle.
I don't want people to think this is a medicine podcast or a medical podcast.
I don't think anyone.
No one's
I
going to
don't
think that.
anyone
I
would
mean-
ever think that. Hey, where do you get your medical news from? Oh, this great podcast called The Dairy Aisle.
There it is, the dairy aisle. I like that name.
They really know
That's a
their
good
stuff.
one.
Well, shoppers,
It's been great.
it has been great, but we have to close the doors now.
Well, if you want any more information or you just want to follow us on Instagram, we're on there at the Dairy Aisle.
Yeah, follow us because our producer is amazing and
Yeah.
she posts stuff all the time. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
post stuff all the time.
Yep.
And we'd love to see you guys on there. And
Also-
I want to start posting more on there too.
I'm going to
personally.
tell her to post a poll on there. I don't know if she did already.
She might have.
I'm going to double check before we close out this episode because if she didn't,
Well, you could check after. They don't
I
have
know,
to
but
hear
I wanna
us-
do
they
it
don't have to
in-
hear us do cooking in the show.
they'll live. Hold on.
They don't want to see how the sauce is made.
The sloth. Let me see.
You
No,
don't
she
wanna
didn't.
see it.
Perfect, which means I can ask her to do it. Her and I are currently having a war because
Jesus.
while I am lactose intolerant, I am a firm believer that the greatest flavor of ice cream ever is mint chocolate chip. She says that that's garbage. I told her she can get the fuck out of this house.
It's not garbage, but it's not the best.
You can go get the hell out of this
Mint
house too.
Look, listen to me. Mint chocolate chip is delicious, and I thoroughly enjoy it because of my wife. She very much put me onto it because I wasn't a fan, and then over 12 years, she fucking beat me down enough to where I was like, okay, I think
Fine, I'll try it. Like,
and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy a good mint chocolate chip, but how dare you? How dare you snuff out a Belgian dark chocolate or a coffee and chocolate mixture?
well,
Clearly the best flavors of ice cream.
2 reasons. 1, lactose intolerant, so I can't have any of that shit. And 2, IBS, also can't have any of that shit.
Then what the fuck are you advocating for mint chocolate chip for?
Because if for one day a fucking genie was like, yo, you can have any dairy-based product you want and it will not cause you any pain
Well,
at all,
Don't they
right?
make Don't they make pills that you could take that? Like,
They're called wussy pills. Thanks, Lactate Corporation. But they don't do anything for people as broken as me, where we don't produce any of the lactase enzyme at all.
Oh, really?
So I'd have to basically down a box, which is essentially tantamount to ODing. But if that genie fucking was like, yo, you can have any dairy product you want. You can have pizza. You can have cheese. I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, yo, get me a pint of your finest gourmet mint chocolate chip ice cream. And I'm going to sit down in front of my fucking TV, watch whatever the fuck I want, and enjoy the shit out of this. Because in 24 hours, it's never going to happen again. I will savor every freezing cold, velvety, smooth spoonful of that ice cream. However, Belgian dark chocolate, why don't we have the best of both worlds? Why not mint chocolate chip, where the chocolate chips are chips of Belgian dark chocolate?
I do like this. I do like this idea. Now, question. You have a genie. Why didn't you just ask him to fix your stomach permanently?
Because then I would weigh 300 pounds. Because I would never stop making up for the fucking almost 14 years that I've been like this.
I mean, might not be a bad thing, you know?
Like, if that's the case,
would you just be
Monday morning?
Café con leche.
Monday morning, we're starting with a 3 or 4 patty high cheeseburger.
Oh,
that's how we're starting breakfast.
Oh,
extra cheese.
Well, before we start talking about
Jesus Christ, this is getting ridiculous. Yeah. Good night.
Follow us on Instagram
at the Dairy Aisle.
At the Dairy Aisle. I'm on there as at Jigamuth, Jiggamuth. Pronounce it whatever way you please.
Yeah.
Elias is on Reddit.
I'm on Reddit. Yeah, you can find me on there. Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches O'Houlihan. If you can dodge a wrench,
you can dodge a ball.
Dodge a ball.
Yep. Dip, duck, dodge, dip, and dive. The 5 Ds.
Have a great day, night, morning, whatever time you're listening to this.
Wherever you're listening to this.
And in the wise words of Wesley Snipes,
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Have a beautiful day.
Good night, y'all.